Hi everybody, it's Hunter
And Joe.
from Two Old Men at Heart, and I wanted to get on here pretty quickly
Yes, we
because
just got back on the ship.
we are in St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands today. We've been here before, and we had a really great excursion today, and we wanted to tell you about. So we went to
Yes, we hopped on a bus and they took us over to the Coral World Ocean Park. It's about a half an hour, 20. They said half an hour. It really
it
took
was
us 20 minutes
yeah, it was closer to 20 minutes.
to get over there to the ocean park, Coral World, and we did a helmet dive. So we got over there to the park, which admission was included, and we got to spend some time there. But the draw of the excursion for us was the helmet dive.
Yes, so that was our magnet for today for our fridge, the Sea Trek Helmet Dive. Now, this is scuba diving for those of you who don't want to spend the time or the money to get certified to actually scuba dive. It's cheat scuba diving. And let me tell you, it was actually really fun.
It was.
We had a lot of fun. This will definitely be one of our most memorable excursions we've ever been on.
It was very simple. It wasn't. You didn't have a long orientation. You didn't have a process. I mean, they went in, they 5 minutes told you what you were going to do, and you started walking down a ladder, and
They put the
flopped
75 pound, which doesn't feel like 75 pounds when you're underwater.
underwater. They said 15. It feels like 15 underwater.
On your shoulders. It rests on your shoulders. You are able to breathe. We have video that we'll be able to show you and pictures.
Yes, they have lines connected to a supply up
Yes.
top.
So you have a constant air supply. The water doesn't come into, well, we'll qualify this, but the water doesn't come into your helmet.
The air pressure keeps it out. Now, if you look down, the air bubble inside your helmet obviously shifts to stay up, so you do end up with some water in your face. So you have to keep your head
So
up.
yes, you want to keep yourself straight up.
Straight
I know we're
up.
sitting here like this, and I should be sitting here like
Yes,
this.
you really do. Yes, you need to
Yes,
be
you need
upright.
you need to have your posture right, and you need to be able to keep that pretty level.
Yes, and if
because
you're
the water is right there. It's not closed off or anything. It's just
yes, you can
right
reach your
there.
hand up in there, and
Yes.
they tell you if you need to equalize your ears, you can reach your hand
you
up
can
under
reach
the
your hand
helmet.
up. So and that leads us to the next point. If you have ear problems, and I am someone who has always historically had not hearing problems, but ear problems. And when I was very young, I had tubes in my ears. I think I had that surgery like 3, maybe 4 times when I was little. Some of them were so little I don't even remember them. And then into my teenage years, I was still having these surgeries to have tubes in my ears. So anytime I go on a plane or I'm even just driving up a mountain and the change in elevation, my ears will pop or they'll hurt or whatever. So this definitely affected my ears. It wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't terribly uncomfortable, but I did have to spend some time making sure I was equalizing, and that's, opening and closing your jaw and like you're chewing or trying to yawn, or like they said, reach underneath and pinch your nose and try to, blow in or out
Yes.
to get your ears to pop. And once they do, you feel fine. So, and that was one thing that you definitely have to watch out for, but it wasn't terribly uncomfortable, especially if you're someone like me who deals with that often enough that, like you just,
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the one thing, but it was so cool. You got to see these native fish. They're just, it's just, you are just in the ocean. So you could have a shark swim up. You could have a stingray swim up. We didn't see any.
We didn't
You
see
could have
any.
a
It was
sea
just a
turtle swim
variety
up.
of fish.
There were a variety of fish, a large variety of fish, and we got to hold an urchin,
Sea urchin.
and some sort of sea star,
Yes.
a very thin sea star. It wasn't a starfish or anything like that. It was very thin sea star. We got to hold them. We have pictures of that we can show you, and video, probably not video of that, but pictures of that we got, that they took. You were not allowed to take your own underwater cameras with you. That was a downfall. I was a little disappointed by that, but obviously it's because they want you to buy their stuff. So we did.
And it wasn't outrageously expensive.
No, it wasn't. It was $50 for the whole package of everyone's pictures who was on your excursion, your group and all of the videos that they took of that. So $50 for all of that was okay, and you could of course just pick out your
Yes.
own. I think there was a cheaper option if you just wanted to pick one or two pictures or whatever. They had a cheaper option that you could buy that too.
But yes, that was the all-in.
Mhm.
You got all the pictures,
they-
all the video from the whole group.
They turned out really well. It's high definition video. They used a GoPro.
Yes.
It's high definition video. The photos looked well. The front of the helmet was clear, so you're able to see people's faces. So it was so cool. It was so much fun.
We were underwater for about 20 some odd minutes.
Yeah, something like that. And they do very small groups. So we had a group. I think how many
7
total
in our
is
group.
Yeah, but how many total?
8 is their max.
8 people at a time. And you have a rail that's I guess somehow connected to the ocean floor.
Bolted down to the ocean floor.
That you have to hold on to. So I let go of it at one point in time, and I started floating away.
Yes,
and
the
there
current
is
will
a
take
current.
you.
There is a current.
Yes,
there.
you're in the ocean. There's a current.
Now you have this 75 pound, which doesn't feel like 75 pounds again. That's holding you down, and you keep hold of. So you are able to walk fairly easily. It wasn't difficult. Of course, the regular clientele of Holland America line skews a bit older. Absolutely, that's something you could do as long as you're able to go down and up a ladder.
Yes, there was a 10-foot ladder they sent you down.
So as long as you're able to do that, it's not vigorous swimming. You don't swim at all. You
No.
walk. You're just
Yes,
walking,
you're walking.
and you're looking.
You take your time. It's not a fast
not
walk.
fast.
You walk a few steps and stop, and they'll show you things. That's how they picked up the sea urchin and handed it to us in the sea star. So you're certainly not moving fast. It's not a huge loop that you take.
Right, it's not very large, but you spend enough time, and you have time to look around. And what we found, which was kind of fun to do, if you squat, if you don't bend over, because if you bend over, you're going to get water in your helmet. Squat straight down, as if you're doing an exercise, which is much easier to do underwater than it is to do on land. You can get down close enough to the sea floor so you can see those small fish that hang out right at the coral, which was really cool, and they're colorful and they're pretty. And so that was I saw you doing that, and I started copying you on that, and that was a good idea to squat.
Well, he told us that when we were doing the brief orientation. He said, if you want to look at something down, squat, don't bend.
So good tip.
Yes, it was definitely a good tip.
Definitely do that. So I am raving about this excursion because it was unique and it was fun. It was absolutely memorable, and for someone who has absolutely no desire to do the whole training and certification to be a true scuba diver, this is cheating, and it is good. It's a good kind of cheating, and I do highly recommend this. Now, the other part of this is we had time. It was included. This specific, the helmet dive, was included in the full admission to this entire the Coral World Ocean Park. So you are able to go and see all of the exhibits that they have. And they have quite a few. You could spend a whole day there. And they have a number of other excursions that you can do there as well that you can buy through the ship. But if you want to go there and if you wanted to add that on, I'm sure they would let you do that as long as there's space available and time. But you can go swim with dolphins. You can swim with sea lions. You can, and then you can visit. You can just watch. You don't have to pay extra to just watch.
Yes, we watched the dolphin swim.
Yes, people doing their dolphin swim. And they brought a sea lion out so you could see them. The stingrays, the sea turtles. The sea turtles were so friendly. There were 4 of them, and they came over to see us.
Yes,
they have much video of them.
Coming to say hello.
And they were very friendly sea turtles. And all of these animals are either in rehabilitation or they are not able to be released into the wild. So that is one thing that I do like to point out, because that's something that people get a little snippy about. So
yes.
they are either in rehabilitation or they're not able to be released into the wild. And so it was really wonderful to see them. The lorikeets were beautiful, so colorful, and they were very noisy.
Yes.
They're very shrill, very high pitched. But they were very friendly as well.
They were very active.
Very active, and they like to eat mango, we found out. But they only suck out the juice, and they leave the pulp there, so you'll walk around and you'll see mango pulp.
Yes.
They keep it clean, but
they do.
You will see mango pulp there. And then we saw the iguanas too, big iguanas.
Big iguanas,
Yes.
yes.
And the Caribbean reef encounter was this 360-degree room underwater. It's sort of like you're in an aquarium, but under the water, and 360 degrees. You have beautiful fish all around you.
Yes, they're coral and fish surrounding you and swimming around, yes.
And then the dolphin part was really cool. We did get to catch the very tail end of one of the dolphin swims there. And that was really cool. And the dolphin was really, really nice. And seemed to enjoy that.
Yes.
So I wanted to tell you about that. We wanted to tell you about that because this is one that we are going to remember for a long time. And I don't say this often because once you go on a cruise and you do an excursion, you're like, oh, okay, I've done it. And I don't need to do that again. I would go back and do the Sea Trek helmet diving again.
Yes.
I would absolutely do that. And a little tip for you. So this is in Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. They have this sea helmet diving. There is a helmet diving that's similar to this in St. Martin. So if you're ever going to St. Martin, you might have this excursion available on through the cruise line, and if not, check it out through Viator or one of those other ones, and make sure that you are back. If it's not through the cruise, make sure you're back in time for your ship to go away. But you could do that in St. Martin too. And so next time we go to St. Martin, I think we're going to try theirs too and see how that goes. But this was so exciting. It was so much fun. It was fun to be under the water like that and being able to look around and see all of these things in their natural habitat.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was fun. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'm so happy that we were able to. I'm so happy this worked today.
Yes.
Because sometimes, I guess, if the current's too strong or whatever, they will cancel this excursion. So I'm so glad that it worked today because we're going to be talking about this for a long time. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave us some comments and hit the bell button so you get a notification every time we upload a new video. But thanks for watching. Bye. We'll see you next time.